All right, well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks coming at you with another episode, and today was a pretty crazy day in the NFL with all the different signings. Pretty cool to see all the defensive tackles, man. They got paid, didn't they? Linebackers too. A lot of good ones went off the board. So, and you know what? The Raiders made some moves today. We'll kind of get into that a little bit before we do. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Definitely add your comments. Like to hear what all Raider Nation has to say, especially about the first day of the free agent frenzy. Thought it was pretty cool. Definitely waiting to see what happens today, and we'll see how the second day goes. But for me, the Raiders, we can't. I did the video last night and basically talked about what the Raiders needed to do, kind of stay within their budget. I say, don't sign Jimmy G, but if you do, which you probably will, keep it under 30 million. They definitely did that. So they signed a contract there that was cap friendly, only, 16, $17 million cap hit. But I also talked about a 1 year out, which they did a 1 year out, but not really. It's an $18.5 million dead cap hit if we decide to exercise it for the next year. So not really a good contract in that way. It's a good cap friendly contract, which will help us, but it's not a great, long term. So we're definitely stuck with him for 2 years. So hopefully this works out. Obviously the coaching staff and the GM, they put everything into Jimmy G. This is their time. If it doesn't, sorry about that. If it doesn't happen, sorry about that. Yeah, if it doesn't happen, then it's not going to happen. So we'll see how it goes for him. But this is either Jimmy G does great and McDaniels and Ziegler stay, or their history, because they put everything into this. And as a fan, I really didn't want Jimmy G because I think it's like the seventh option, as far as us getting to the Super Bowl, because let's face it, but we don't know. Like, Brady was the number one option for me because probably cost effective wise for a Super Bowl starting quarterback, but also there's no draft capital. Rodgers was probably next, and I think legitimately he has the most in the tank and probably would be the best option to get us there. Just a lot of draft capital, and Lamar Jackson, obviously, if something happened there. But we don't know if any of the stories that came out, if the Raiders were even interested in those guys. So that's option 1, 2, and 3 as a fan, right, that we thought about. And then the next was obviously signing still, or trading up to the number 1 pick. That was really talked about as the Raiders trying to do that to get their the quarterback that they thought could start right away. So that was an option. And then Stidham, re-signing him and have him start. That didn't work out. And then obviously trading for Mac Jones. We don't know if any of those things were even in the cards, right? We just, as fans, heard them, thought they were better ideas, than, at least for me, than Jimmy G. Because Jimmy G, to me, the way you win a Super Bowl is either a stud quarterback and build a bit around him, but a stud quarterback nonetheless, or you have a rookie contract quarterback or low paid quarterback like Stidham and just go all in with talent all over the roster, right? With Jimmy G, you kind of can't do that. It's kind of middle of the road, and that's where the Raiders have been, in middle of the road or even worse. And so that's the fear of the Raider fans, is that we're just going to continue to be middle of the road. And really what you saw today, Mitchell Rentz on Chat Sports, he does a lot of, give me a one-word reaction, right? Well, today I think was underwhelming is the reaction I'd give you. And not to brand a face on him. We'll see if he makes the roster even. I don't think it's a possibility. Like, he played well for us before, but he's not moving the needle. Marcus Epps, he's going to probably be our starting strong safety with Merring, but and I'm not making a bad light of this. He's a good player, and he's an average player, but he's average, right? So Jimmy G, an average quarterback. We got an average starting strong safety. We need playmakers on defense. And so that wasn't it. So I said, let's get 3 to 5 top 100 defensive players that can come in here and make an impact. And they're in the prime of their careers, under 30. And, we got Jimmy G, who's a top 100 free agent, but he's 31, and, he's not on defense, obviously. But also want to get, multi-year contracts, which the Raiders did with Garoppolo and with Marcus Epps. So credit him for that. So that's good. But just somewhat underwhelming day to day. But it doesn't have to be underwhelming. We have all day we have all day, the second day of the frenzy, right? So we can definitely make up for it. But the reason why Marcus Epps wasn't really moving the needle for me is because I gave the stats the other night and I was shocked by him about how bad our defense actually is. So I'm going to go over them again because I was so shocked. So defensively, interception-wise, we had 6, which was last in the league. Sacks, we were 30th in the league. Hurries, 25th in the league. Pressures, we were bottom 3rd in the league. Turnovers, we were last in the league. Pass breakups, 31st in the league. Forced fumbles, we were bottom 3rd. Tackles for loss, bottom 3rd. And the most surprising thing of all to me is that we blitzed 26%. We had a 26% blitz rate, which was 12th in the league. And I don't know how you get that better production blitzing that much. I mean, I just baffling. So we need playmakers. So Ziegler, McDaniels, please, on day 2 of the frenzy, get us defensive playmakers because Marcus Epps, he's a good player. We're cool. We got good players. We need difference makers on the team. And I'm not making light of it. So like if we had playmakers on the team already and we signed him, it'd be a great signing. He's a good player. But think about this. So if he's our strong safety and Marion is our free safety, based on their stats last year, here's what we can expect from our safety group. 0 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, 0 sacks, and 6 tackles for loss. That's not going to get it done. So, the fact that we signed Jimmy G, I understand that $16 million in cap hit, it's good for Jimmy G. We've got an average quarterback now so we went from an average quarterback making top 5 quarterback money to getting an average quarterback now, paying him average to below average market rate for a quarterback, which is great. That's what we need to do to win. That's how you can win with an average quarterback, pay him less than average quarterback price. We've done that. That's cool. But it sort of limits us because we still, and I'll go over the roster in a second. We basically have 17 spots to fill our 53-man roster. From what I put together, we have 11 draft picks. So if some miracle happens, we draft 11 people and all 11 make it. We still have 6 spots to fill. Sport Trek has it up to date now. We have about $24.5 million in cap. So, I started the video out with, hey, let's sign OBJ, right? Maybe, or I didn't talk about it, but I put it in the title. It's signing OBJ, right? Well, he's at $13.5 million. And one of my buddies, Damon, told me, hey, maybe we just outscore people this year. Maybe that's it. Maybe we go Devontae Adams, OBJ on the outside, we go Renfro on the slot, Waller at the tight end, and Jacobs in the backfield. With Jimmy G running the show, our line's fine. We got plenty of line right now. We can get more in the draft or whatever. But he wants 13.5, so it only leaves us 11.5 to fill 6 or to fill 5 spots after his signing. So there's 17 spots right now available. If you sign him, it'd be 16. So, but some miracle, 11 draft picks make the team. That's not gonna happen. So I don't know if we could sign him, but it's just an idea, because if we're not going to get playmakers, if we're just going to get average defensive players, then we're going to be in the same trap of not getting turnovers, not getting sacks, not pressuring the quarterback. Josh McDaniels said himself, we have to do 2 things on defense. We have to hit the quarterback. We have to touch the ball on defense. So the Marcus Epps signing is good, but it's not that. It's not going to get us that. So we still need big-time players, and there's only so many left. Like, I don't think we're still in the safety market, but I mean, Jordan Poyer, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson who was my number 1 target, who I wanted. Taylor Rapp, Julian Love would be nice, but I don't know if we're in the safety market anymore. Cornerbacks, James Bradbury, Byron Murphy, Shaq Griffin, and then obviously Rock. If we can get him back, I think would be good. Defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson, I'd like to get him. And then Fletcher Cox, even though he's 32, but at this point, I mean, it's kind of what it is. Sansom, I can't say his last name, Ubacom, I think for the 49ers, a defensive end, if we want to get somebody to pressure the edge, he's a guy that can do it. And then linebackers, man, there's a run on linebackers a little bit today, especially the Bears. But, Bobby Wagner's a playmaker. He's 32, but why not? Levante Davies, 33, but at this point, Denzel Perryman's 30. Drew Tranquil, Kaiser White. Aziz Al-Shaair, they're good players, but we need a middle linebacker. We don't even have a middle linebacker on the roster right now. So that's kind of where we're at. So this day 2 of the frenzy has got to be linebacker, please, and defensive tackle, cornerback. Let me just go over. So what I did, sorry, I'll look down at the paper, or I'll try not to, but yeah, quarterback, Jimmy G, obviously we need a backup. So there's a spot. Adams, obviously at receiver. And then for the outside receivers, it's kind of 2 of them. They're kind of unknown. Last year we broke camp with 2 quarterbacks. We had 3 kind of outside receivers, so we just have Adams, and we have Chris Lacey on the roster, but we'll see what happens there. And then in the slot we have Renfro and Tyler Johnson, but we also have Isaac Zucker, I guess, and DJ Turner. So there's a few guys on the bench there for the slot guys, but we do have, I don't know about Chris Lacey, but we could definitely use another receiver. That's the reason I brought up Odell Beckham and put him in that mix, but it's costly. So we'll see what happens there. And then instead of doing 5 running backs, I did 4, and I did a Swiss Army knife, either running back, receiver, or a, something like that, a returner. So I just put Abdullah there for now. Tackles, we got Miller, Mumford, and Parker. And then, so we still have an opening because last year we broke camp with 4. But we have 5 other guys in the practice or on the bench. So we've got plenty of tackles on the roster. It's just a matter of who makes the team. So maybe there's a spot there to draft somebody. And then guards, we have Parham, and I put Netin Mute making the 53. And then we have Jordan Meredith, who knows. So last year we broke camp with 3 guards. So there may be a spot there. And then Andre James, if we don't cut him. Tight ends, we have Waller, and then I guess Horsted, and maybe the 3rd tight end. Cole Fotheringham is on the roster, so I think we need a tight end. So we'll probably look for that in the draft, or maybe get somebody here in free agency. And then Jacobs, White, Brown, and McCormick, hopefully, is our running back group. And then a fullback, hopefully Jacob Johnson's back. So that's sort of the offense, kind of where we're at now. And defensive ends, we got Jones, Crosby. I don't know if Kuntz is making the team. But last year we broke camp with 5 defensive ends. Hopefully we do 4 and a Sam. I'm advocating for a Sam linebacker. So there's definitely 2 spots there that we need for sure. And then depending on what Kuntz does. And then defensive tackles, Blair Nichols, Matthew Butler. And then 3rd one, we have a spot. We have Adam Butler, that who knows if he's going to make the roster. And then nose tackle, we only have Neil Farrell Jr. And last year we broke camp with 2 nose tackles. So we need 3 right now, what I can tell, defensive tackles. So we definitely need help there. Weak side linebacker, Diablo, Masterson, Butler. I consider all of them weak side linebackers. And then middle linebacker, we really don't have one. We have Mango, right? And so, but we broke camp with 2 last year. And I'm not sure that we actually even have one on the roster. And then quarterbacks, basically had 5 last year, and so I don't think we have a true cornerback. But we have Amik if we want to go with him. Sam Webb if we want to go with him. Tyler Hall, who was one of our highest rated players last year. Nate Hobbs, and we just signed Faison. So I'm not sure if Faison makes the roster or not, but as you can tell, we definitely need cornerback help. And then safety, Epps, Palomalo, and then we had 3 strong safeties last year, so I put an opening, even though, teamer, we'll see what happens. Free safety, we have Mooring, and then we have Jake Elliott and Cosby on the maybe practice squad, so definitely an opening there. So we still have a ton of work to do. We have $24.5 million left. Getting OBJ would be great, but $13.5 million, I'd only leave us 11.5 left. So at that point, we'd be going into some of the restructures that I don't want to do. And so that's the problem with Jimmy G, right? We're in that kind of conundrum. We're in that kind of win now. Maybe we have a shot at the Super Bowl range. Should we restructure, free up money, and get some of these other free agents, or should we just stay within our budget and play it out? I think you stay within the budget and play it out. Get another couple of top guys with the money that we have. Fill the roster with the draft and with low budget, free agent pickups, and just go from there and see where the chips fall with that. And then, next year we'll see what happens. So anyways, that's kind of what I got. Hopefully we go big today in the second day of free agency frenzy. Hoping we go big, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we do some restructuring on some of the contracts, and maybe we make a trade or 2, or let a couple guys go, because by the 15th we have to have the top 51 at the salary cap range. So We can't go too far over in free agency, and so it all kind of starts with that. So tomorrow is really going to be a crazy day, especially with contract manipulation probably, and more stuff to come. And then obviously the 15th on Wednesday, we'll see what happens. So anyways, that's all I got today. Yeah, I recorded this kind of the night before. I'll post it like at 3 a.m. on the 14th. So if I'm saying that the day's kind of off, forgive me for that. But that's just kind of wanted to give my point of view of kind of what happened today. So underwhelming for sure. I think Jimmy G puts us in that back to mid-range, right? We had a mid-range quarterback making top 10, making top 5 money at the quarterback position. Now we have an average quarterback making average or below average money. So that's good. That's a win. Marcus Epps, I think, is a win. He's a good player, but it doesn't really move the needle as far as what we really need is that's playmakers on defense. So hopefully today is the day we get our playmakers. So Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, please, defense, go get us those playmakers. If you want to sign Odell, I'm cool, right? I'm good with that. We'll definitely just have to outscore people. We'll go with that. Anyways, that's all I got. This is Raider Sparks, and everybody have a good day. I'll try to get another video out after. Hopefully we have a big day today and the second day of the free agency frenzy. Talk to you later.